Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. It's Mech, and we are doing a tier list. It is our 100 subscriber episode special today. Welcome in. Hopefully, you're doing well today. This was supposed to kind of look like confetti, and now it just looked like I'm in a weird void of shuffling and dancing confetti, but that's fine. And, rave sticks, I guess. Maybe it looks better from this direction. Hold on, let's zoom out here. Let's zoom out and let's try this. Where is it? Oh god, now it's rainbowing. That's fine. Great. Maybe it looks better when it's like from this angle. Is this better? Anyway. Don't pay attention to me. I'm a cursed robot on the internet. Also, I didn't realize this hat was, you know, when you start getting older, things start to droop and things start to sag down lower than they're supposed to. Okay, okay, off. I want this off. Off of me. Good, good. Where are we? Media. Let's get our calibration. Okay, good stuff. I'm saving this scene now. But welcome in everybody. I thought we could do something a little bit different because why not a tier list? And I had no idea what tier list to do, and I'm sorry the angle's a little weird, but I was like, it's fine. It'll be fine. We see everything. We can see all the stuff down there. It's great. It's a little squinched, but that's fine. We can always add new categories as it goes. And I figured, why not do something really fun? And I thought, why not do a tier list? And I really wasn't sure which tier list to do because a lot of them are very, very long. Like hours worth. I was like, this one is short, sweet, and to the point. We can have like a little nostalgia trip as we go down. As we get older, we realize there are certain things that if we tried now, we would be decapitated immediately. But I figured, why not? We could have some fun with this. Just a trip down nostalgia lane. And you know what? I'm typically not here. Like, yeah, guys, I have legs. If you didn't remember, I've got legs and boots and ass. Anyway, oh god, now I'm all over the place. Oh god. Anyway, we're just gonna hang out here, I guess, together. We can hang out right here for a little bit and just have some fun. I guess I could face this way a little bit. That'll work. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I've got a floppy hat and we're fine. Anyway, I wanted to do something a little special since we broke 100 subs this year. I'm so excited. Right at the end of the year, it was like a Christmas present, and it's starting into the new year all at once. I was very excited because while it may be small to some, I just do this for funsies. I like doing entertainment and making people laugh. I like just being a goof and doing all kinds of stuff. And then also, when you think about it, as in 100 people signed up to just in a room together just to watch me. Like, holy fuck, I don't know why, but thank you, really. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching this cursed robot on the internet do stupid shit. And hopefully we can do more shenanigans this upcoming year. I know my gaming channel is, I mean, this has predominantly been a lot of gaming, but it's also my VOD channel. That's kind of how it started. But I figured, why not? We can throw some gameplay on there too while I can. And hopefully one day start making a resurgence with some silly videos here and there. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Yes. Okay, you can see it. It's fine. Okay, I added some things here. So, God, this is so small for me. I should have fixed it, but we're already in. We're in the thick of it. This is happening. This is how this is going now. But if you guys like these, in the future we could just have some some more of these in the future. Now, this one was short, sweet, to the point, so I figured, why not? We'll go on this nostalgia trip and learn about the playground in yonder year back before they discovered electricity when I was born. So, what do we have here? First, we have this little climby thing. This little climby thing that you just climb up. It's fine. I think that is a perfect mid-tier. It's fun to climb up, but it's not like every kid's freaking out over this thing. It's just, it's a good fun. Like, it's probably the preferred route over stairs. It's pretty fun. I think it's a solid C tier. It's not anything terrible. It's decent. I like it. These suck. These are the swings, the little ones for like infants and toddlers, which is great for them. These swings are great for them. But I'm an adult. Even in high school, I had people that I had heard of that would go into these things, get stuck, and then have to call the like fire department to cut their legs out of this thing, and then they'd have to buy new swings. Because they're too big. Because you're an adult sitting in a baby swing. Even a teenager's too big, and they're small. Outside, if you're a toddler, great. If you don't throw up all the time. But I was a sick child and got very motion sick very easily. So we're just slapping this down there. It's fine. What else do we have? This. I think this one is actually pretty fun. I always liked the little balance beams. Sometimes they would like serpentine, and I loved those as a kid. They were so fun. And it's something, you know what? I'm almost tempted to put this in A tier because this is something I could do as an adult. Now I say that in before I slip, bust my ankle, fall, shatter both hips, and then both of my arms are shattered from also trying to catch me. And then I just have chronic skull damage as well. Anyway, if confident, I feel like I could actually do this one. And like, as long as there was like a nice rubberized bottom. Okay, when I was a kid, we didn't have this nice little like rubberized mats that these playgrounds do. My playground used fucking mulch. So if you fell into it, you fell into some really sharp sticks. Thank fuck. I never had any accidents, but if you fell face first into the mulch, you might lose an eye. And I had heard of that. That's horrifying. Splinters, lost eyes, just completely gouged with sticks. And then they went to pea gravel, really, really like smooth, small pebbles, which was better, in my opinion, than the fucking mulch. Like for plants, they used mulch. Anyway, I liked the gravel. It was softer. Basketball is always pretty fun. I feel like even when I'm not that much of like a sports player, I would be down to just kind of like shoot some hoops. Just play some horse in the year of the horse, the upcoming year. We'll just play some horse. Just shoot. Just have some fun. Just dribble some balls. And just play around with the friends. I think that would be super fun. Honestly. Super great. Fun adult activity as well. That's why I put it in A tier. Love it. Also, as we enter the year of the horse, I don't take horoscopes too personally. I personally think it is what you make of it. Don't base really heavy life decisions or personal life matters on these things. Think logically, take your time, listen to yourself. It's hard, but you gotta. Anyway, I think most of these horoscopes and everything are what you make of it. And because I have a soft spot for horses, I am a Sagittarius. I was born in the year of the horse. I am a horse. In real life anyway. But I was like, what's coming up in the year of the horse? We've got Steel Ball Run, also horse. Lots of horse. Lots of suspense, gyro to spin. And if that's not most of what Johnny Joestar says in that show, it's not faithful to the manga material, okay? It's not. Because that's all that fucking guy says. He's just crying about the spin to gyro all the time. That's all that happens. Anyway. I mean, it would be pronounced like Yoro in Greek, but I think he's Italian since it's Sepli, but I really don't know. Steel Ball Run is like the start of a new... My brain died. Hold on, we're back. Rebooting. But, it's basically just a new non-canon, like just, not even non-canon, it's just a different universe with different characters and things like that to basically break free of the formula that Araki had before, just to kind of have some fun with it. And I'm really excited to see it. But, anyway, the bridge thing, super fun to jump on as a child. Really fun, running back and forth and just really getting into the rhythm. You could get people some height on this thing. Solid. Field? Just open field to do anything. I mean, you could play a lot of sport ball. You could do a lot of different things. I'll put it in a solid B tier. It is what you make of it. And it comes right back down to what I think a lot of zodiac and horoscope things are. Like, I just perused a couple because I was curious, and it basically was just saying a lot of reflection, a lot of thinking inwardly, a lot of flexibility as well, like realizing your actions do have repercussions and they do affect those around you. Everybody, like nobody on earth is a main character. That's what makes every person and every moment so special. You know how crazy it is that we're all right here. I am sorry that you're on this video because it is insane that we are all existent at the exact same time. That's so crazy to think about. One iota of difference in the timeline. Some of us wouldn't be here. And that's really scary to think about, but that's what makes every moment so special. And you're here watching this cursed robot on the internet talking with me, and I'm talking with you, and it is a great time. So let's enjoy this new year of the horse as we can, and think inwardly to respect others, to be flexible, to remember to be kind. Just the typical playground, just the actual like stuff. I mean, if you went to a playground and it didn't have one of these, but it had all this other stuff, I would have been content as a kid. But honestly, I might come back to this one. Just because it's really tough. Because you could have all these things and no one would care. No one would care that this isn't here, like climbing around in. Like this was more of a commodity at local fast food places. Do they even have that anymore? Do places have like a kid play zone? I don't eat fast food and I haven't been to one in like 15 years, so I have no idea if they even do this anymore. But back when I was a kid, that was like a commodity. You would go specifically to a fast food place and then they would have a crazy like jungle gym area, play area. Just go run around in and go crazy. And on that, honestly, I think a solid B tier would be great. I do really have fond memories of those. Those are pretty fun. And they do kind of kick it up a little bit. Jungle gym. Or not jungle. This is the jungle gym, right? God, I'm so old. I don't remember anymore. Yeah, it is the jungle gym. These, I loved climbing around on these. These were super fun. I loved the jungle gym. I thought it was pretty good. But I don't think it's quite like, oh, hell yeah, all the time. Because, like, I wouldn't always go to the jungle gym. One of these, you see it, every kid just running on it and rocking across it. Basketball, super great, super leisurely, can be played competitively, can be played leisurely. It's just fun. It's just good fun. And I feel like the jungle gym is very close to the bridge here as far as entertainment. Because when it hits, it hits. Now, long ass metal slide. If it was a tall one, I'm talking like this shit was like 12, 15 feet in the air. And in the summer, this shit was hotter than a frying pan. S tier. That is the best slide. The fucking best one. Those are so fun. But I will also say, unfortunately, they got really hot. And I remember when I was a kid, a really fun game that we would play, and the teachers would get mad at us, but we would do it until they told us to leave because it would be so many of us doing this and like a bunch of kids around it. Like we all banded together to play this game. We would all like circle each other and like they can't get us all in trouble. So, and it wasn't anything ever this bad. But I mean, looking back on it, it could definitely be pretty dangerous. But I remember as a kid, we would all line up to the slide and play this game called Watermelon. And I don't know why we called it that, but that's what we all called it on the schoolyard. So we would all climb the slide, and then we would get down and sit sideways and slide down sideways, and you would hold on to the bottom. And we would all try to, like, we would line up. You wouldn't slide all the way off. As you got to the bottom, you were supposed to kind of hold there. And then each kid would slide down and slam into the other kid here, but that kid had to hold on. And the whole goal was to do that until all the kids were all the way to the top and you couldn't go down the slide anymore. And then we would all go down the slide and we would start over again. And that was our game of Watermelon. Oh my goodness, I remember doing that so much. Like, we didn't do it all the time, but sometimes it would be like a riot. Someone would just be like, "It's watermelon time!" And then all of the kids just start running over to the slide. Oh, fond memories. Monkey bars, just plain ass. They're pretty fun. I like them. I think they're a solid B tier. You know what? Just plain ass monkey bars, though, I think they're fine. They're pretty fun. And the reason I would put them here only because these ones were a little more challenging and they were really fun too. I would put these in B tier because when you have a choice of these or those, I honestly preferred these personally. Like, I mean, come on, it's a tier list and I'm doing it. This is my personal opinion, man. Anyway. I had a lot of fun doing that. Also, did I say this in the beginning? If we enjoy more tier lists, we can do some more. Okay. Anyway, I'm all over the place. This is a new format. I'm so lost into the void. Here we are. Like, there's music playing for you guys, but there's not for me. So I'm just talking into nothing with this floppy hat on my head. And my God, is it crazy? Now these. I'm not gonna put them in F tier, okay? That was a funny goof. Oh my goodness, I'm hiccuping. I would say they're C. They're for younger kids, for sure. They're not bad. They're not great, though. They're fine to kind of like rock back and forth in, I guess. You know? Most kids weren't really crazy to be on them. Most of them were pretty much not even used. So I'm gonna put them in D tier. They're okay. I mostly saw older kids on them, bending them to hell and back, basically. And what do we have here? Oh, the climbing wall. Now those are a new addition. I didn't start seeing these until I was basically already in high school and didn't have a playground anymore. Like the elementary school that I had went to several, but one of them on like the last year got one of these little climbing walls and I used that very, very loosely. It was basically like a, I'd say like a 30-degree, maybe 40-degree incline. And it just had the rocks on it, so it was really easy to climb up. But my God, it was fun. I loved that. That was so much fun. Now the teeter-totter. The teeter-totter can be fun. I would say when I was a kid, the teeter-totters that we had were way too big. So you would get on these things and like it was two giant poles like the size of a flagpole with a piece of wood screwed into it. And you would go up and down and you would go like 10 feet in the air and the other kid would also do the same. But on the way down, Do you think a child can keep up with their arms and legs the strength of 2 falling flagpoles in a chunk of wood as big as they are? No, that doesn't happen. Even when it was 2 on 2 sides, because most of the ones I were on had 2 per side. Even if it was 4 children, they weren't holding this thing up, so it would slam onto the bottom, so we would just do it as hard as we could. And the person on the top would like bounce up a little bit. And you'd have to fucking hold on so you didn't fly off of it. Oh my god. That was a fun time. I don't care how many things are gonna be in B tier. I'm not rounding this out. I'm doing this by vibes. We're doing it hard and fast. Anyway, this slide, it has a monster on it, so it's fun, especially when you have a little kid down here, like, pretending to be the monster as you, like, slide down. It's fine. It's fine. And that's also, honestly, how I feel about this one. It was always too short. It was never very fun or very high. Like, this one looks way better. The ones I'm used to were like 2 foot high, and you basically, like, you went down for a second. You were like, woo! And that was it. You were done. You were done with the slide. And that's just miserable even for children. Now, the tall, wavy slide. That shit was fun. It was plastic, so we couldn't really do watermelon on it like the metal slide. It didn't get as hot, but that got staticky, especially in the winter. Sometimes it would hurt, but so did this one. I think the wavy slide is a solid B. It's pretty fun. I have some fond memories of just kind of like swooping down it. I would much prefer it over this one. Okay, these. What are these? These are some newfangled toy. Do you just run on them? Do you sit on them and spin? Do you sit and spin on this bitch? I'm gonna put them right here in C tier, because if they don't spin and you just run over top of them, that would be really fun, actually. I would have a lot of fun doing that. Not nearly as much as the beam, but honestly, I'd put them in B. I think they'd be pretty fun. Pretty damn fun. Like, the thing is, you don't even catch me doing this shit as an adult. I do some light exercises, but I'm gonna kick it back up. I got a little out of whack with the holidays, but who doesn't? And after moving and everything, I'm gonna kick it back up and then maybe work my way back to these bitches. And so I don't roll and break both of my ankles at the same time. But I think I would have had a lot of fun jumping between these as a kid, especially because they're kind of small. And if it was wet, you could slide on them. Now, there's some danger there. Now, that's really fun. Okay, now, the fucking swings. Swings are amazing. I fucking love the swings. Swings, you know what? Watermelon slide and the swing set, S tier. Swings, especially if you had those really fucking long ones, they always had a line. Always had a line. Because of course people would want to jump. And the teachers would kind of look the other way if you didn't jump too high. If you jumped really high off of that thing, you would get reprimanded. But if you kind of just were like a little bit up and you jump down, then it's fun. Now, unfortunately, just me, small bot, in the rain, looking longingly at the children on the swings because my anxiety-ridden, sensitive little tummy just could not handle the swings. They were way, way too motion heavy, and I would get really sick, really nauseated to the point of literally doing so within like a few swings. Like, after 4, I was ready to just blow chunks everywhere. The graphic, I know. That's how it felt. So every now and then, sometimes I would line up to go, like, 4 swings. And I had to make it count. Because I knew I was gonna get sick, so I needed to jump off before it started to happen. So I would fucking put all my ass into, like, 3 or 4 good swings. And I'd jump, and it'd be, like, 3 or 4 foot high. And it was so much fun every time. Damn, the swings are so good. These, they're fun to run around and spin. You could play them as an adult, but It'd be easier just to get like a pen and write on your hand. I mean, you could play it repeatedly, I guess, but none of the kids were actually playing tic-tac-toe with these. You know what they were doing? They were spinning them as they ran by, making them go as fast as they could. And that was the fun, but in and of itself, it's fine. I'll put it higher than whatever than those things are. That makes me feel quite better, actually. I like that a lot. I'm gonna put these up because it makes me feel better too. Okay. I think we're alright. Now, tire swings. Tire swings are pretty damn fun, just in general. Even if it's just the... Why I have tire swing twice on this thing. That's fine. But there are two variants. So we'll use this one as the other one. That's supposed to be just a rope holding onto a tire. And it's not like like this. There's not three things holding it up, so the tire is like parallel with the ground. We'll use this one as just a regular ass. This is take it as it is. It's really fun to stand on and swing around, and I wouldn't get nearly as sick with this, actually. That is why I liked it a lot. You could just go on there, and I wouldn't spin. I would just kind of like wave back and forth, and you could just crawl around and be a little goblin into this thing. It was so fun. And I remember having a lot of good time with that. And I would also... Same... The tire swing... where it's just perpendicular to the ground and it's just tied up on like one little side and you just sit in the hole of it and you swing. S tier. It's just good. Especially when it was dangerous and it was literally a rope over a tree branch. I remember when I played on my friend's house, they lived at this hill. So we would tire swing, and when you would swing, you would go over this big hill, and I'm talking like a huge one. So if you fell out, you were going down a ways. And we used to do that, and it was always this shaky-ass branch limb. But it was so fun. Oh my goodness. What makes it more fun? A little bit of danger. Always. Every time. Ugh. It's like the swings, but it feels so different. You're in a tire. It just feels so... You just feel so free. You're a little child. You're crawling around in this tire. You're having a great time. It's a good time. Okay, the tunnel tube? Now, it's fun to crawl through these things. But no kids actually like playing in it. Most people just sat in them. They're fine. I really have nothing else. Just crawling around this thing. It's fine. Okay. Do I have some of these too high? Just the overall possibilities of a playing field, you could do anything with that. You could play kickball, you could play baseball, you could play flag football, you could play soccer, you could set up like a badminton, you could play volleyball. You could do so much with just a field. And that's typically what was happening. Now let's see here. Alright. Curvy slide, but covered. I think this one is pretty fun. It's typically a little longer, but it's a little longer than, say, this one right here. But I think I had a lot of fun with this one because it's covered. So you go down and it's like, woo, it's dark and spooky, and then you hit the bottom and it's great. I really liked these ones. I liked the era of mystery. Also, I will say, unfortunately, it was very staticky as well, just like these ones were in the winter. And if you haven't been shocked on playground equipment, you want to talk about jolts. Holy fuck, that shit hurts. And I need a water before I go into this next one. Alright. We've been making great time. Great time here. Now, when I first loaded this up, I think it was just S through D, and then I added F because of course, and then I remembered. I fucking hate this thing. What the hell is the point in this thing, okay? I think most kids can have fun with most of these equipment, except this. You can't slide down it like a curly fire pole. You can't slide down this as a regular pole. You just have to climb this shitty thing that's like half leaning, so it's really difficult. It's not even fun to climb. This thing sucks. And you know what? And don't even get me started on the kids that got stuck in these things. Because yeah, they did, okay? That's why a lot of them have the poles now. And then it's just like, if you just had a fire pole to slide down, it would be way better. This thing fucking sucks. I don't care. I hate it. This is my list. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Seriously awful. This is what this was made for. Anyway, the steering wheel. I think it's fine. I think it's a good C tier. Just because it's fun to go up there and pretend you're either on a ship or a car or a spaceship even. Because I was thinking pirate ship, but also spaceship. Okay. And it's just same thing with the field. It's of your imagination. I feel like this one isn't bad, because most of the time when we had the steering wheel ship, we either played pirates, played spacemen, like this part was our ship, and this was just steering, so honestly, that is why I would put that in C. Okay, this motherfucker right here. This thing has hurt so many people, but caused so much fun, and I am one to get sick very easily. But I also love this thing. If you can really get this thing cranking, part of it was also like just trying to get it as fast as you could go. Now I've seen the videos of people putting like motorcycles and shit onto these things. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna fucking kill myself or make myself sick for that. That is too much, man. But as it is, it's so fun. Because you can get it, you can just play with this by yourself. It's such a good item. Very fun. Love it. Now this image right here is like, I guess, the new version of whatever this was. The little spinny merry-go-round thing. Because it has these two 3D children just kind of like floating in the air as whatever that is. I feel like that could be pretty fun, to be honest with you. I'll put this in B tier. Let's think about this. So we are making some really good time here. We have... So why... This one's S because you can you can play with both of these yourself. But just the leg power you can do with this one and just also the handlebars. I feel like this one could be pretty fun as well. I've never played on this thing, so it's really hard for me to really think about, okay? But as I think about this, as a young child... as a young child here, I think this thing would have been really fun. You grab onto it and you just run as hard as you can and hold on. That sounds great. I would have loved that. I think this thing would have been a really big hit if I were a child and able to play on this without breaking all of my little bones. Fantastic. Now, as you can see, some of these images are strange. We will get into that. These ones are just supposed to be, like, it's on a swing set, and you typically had two rings that had, were held up by, like, a long chain, so you... Almost like in the Olympic sport with the two chains on there, and you just kind of hold yourself up and swing around and do flips on them. I think those are a solid B tier. They are really fun. I had a great time with them. And you can just kind of swing around and do whatever. Even try to climb up them sometimes. They were really fun. I really liked those. And I remember at least the playgrounds that I used to visit had like two sets typically. It had a set that was way too high for me to reach, and I would ask my parental unit to lift me up to put me onto them. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping here and belching. But I would ask my parental unit to lift me up so I could hang on to these things as long as my little arms could, and I would swing around, and it felt so good to be on like the taller ones because I was too small and couldn't reach. It was a great time. It's a solid B from me. Let's see. We'll get to this one in a minute. The parallel bars. Now mine didn't look like this. This kid looks like he's just getting physical therapy. But we'll put it in B right here. A lot of this is B, and you know what? I don't care. This is my list. This is what's happening. But the parallel bars that we had were not these rounded little ones. It was like two hollow poles welded by two other poles into the ground. And that was it. It had maybe like a 2-foot bar in between where the pole was and this ended. No round corners here. And we had two sets of them. We had the really tall ones that only the big kids used because we were all too little. And then the smaller ones. Now, if a little kid could climb up that pole and get onto the bigger parallel bars, they were like a hero. They were considered like king of the children. It was like, oh my god, you got into big bars. But only second to one other thing, I would say. Like, they're pretty fun. You would get up there and you would just kind of sit and chill sometimes. Sometimes you would just flip around, and it was just a really good hangout spot. I had a lot of fun with them. We're gonna keep them there. Now, this one is just a fence. So back before we had these fancy equipments and all that, we just had like a fence that was kind of next to a tree that was slotted just enough so you could climb over it. It wasn't like the fence to the perimeter or anything. It was literally just a 6 by 6 foot and another, like a right angle of a 6 foot and a 6 foot piece of fence that was about, I don't know, maybe 4 foot high and like slotted so you can climb up and like sit on it. And it was like a piece, it was painted blue, and it was in a piece of equipment next to a tree. So we would all just kind of like climb over that and be on the tree. The fence was okay, honestly. Being able to climb on it and being able to sit next to the tree is what's kind of lifting it up for me a little bit. Because being able to just climb on them, and actually, it did feel a little naughty because it was just like a fence. And you would just kind of climb up there and sometimes like play pretend and do all kinds of things. I had a great time with that one. Just a fence. Sometimes we would like just make up different games with the fence and all. You know, before the internet, you had to make your own fun, and sometimes that was playing with a fence, okay? You had to figure out something to do. You didn't have everything at your fingertips. You won't, like, this is the playground equipment you get to play with today. It's a fence, and it's what you make of it. Now, track and field, just the basic-ass track. I think a basic-ass track is a solid C, and here's why. While it's not the most exciting, and I definitely remember a lot of kids just, that's what they did. They just ran the track every recess. But sometimes people would walk on the track, and it was just like sometimes if you were having a hard day at school, maybe shit's shitty at home, you and your friends just talking it out, walking around the track, that shit fucks. Like, just being able to, that was like therapy for me as a child. It's a solid C. And even for our other friends, like, it wasn't just my playgroup. Other kids would do this. Track was like the therapy that you would go through and walk around and just talk stuff out. Even if it's like relationships between the other classmates or stuff at school, stuff at home. This is where you would go to just talk it out. And I fucking love that. It is a solid C. Because while it's not the most fun, I'm glad it was there. This one is a zip line. This is a zip line, basically. So, this thing clearly... Honestly, this thing was... I don't think it's quite S. But it's really good. Remember, this one was the tire swing. Just plain ass, not the trifold. The one where it's like one piece of rope and you sit through the hole of the tire. But the zip line, very, very fun. I fucking loved the zip line as a kid. It was so much fun. Also, I added a few of these if you couldn't tell. This was one of them, I think. But when my school upgraded some playground equipment, it got this new zip line thing, and that thing always had a line because you would just run up to it and just run as fast as you can to get to the other side. And if you got to the other side, the other kids would cheer. Like if you slammed into it without having to like walk or do a shimmy, oh, the kids would just cheer and it was just so fun. I loved it. Such a great time. Such an S. Is it even S? Such a, I mean, I called it an S, but I meant A. Worth it. Okay. Now let's talk about whatever the fuck this thing is, okay? We're gonna take this a step at a time, and I am putting this thing in A tier. And here's why. Hear me out. This is what we're doing. Okay, so it's cut it off a little bit, but imagine this is like the climb up. You climb up on this, there's another bar right here. Basically like you're climbing up to monkey bars. You're just climbing up here. Now, I couldn't find a picture of this thing. And my playground had one. So I just had to conjure this thing from memory and make it look cohesive. So you climb up this part and it's in the shape of like a little house top. We always called them the red house bars. And it went up. And the bars, I use this term loosely, they were bars, but they were about a good 4 to 5 inches long. When I think of 5, yeah, no, it's probably closer to like 3 or 4 to be honest. And they were pretty like rounded. I remember my little child hands couldn't fully wrap it around the bar. They were really small. The bars were really hard to hold on to because they were a little bigger than like the monkey bars. And they were way taller. Like this is already taller than what the monkey bars were because we had this thing right next to the monkey bars. So we would climb up and you would go over here on these little small girthy pegs and you would have to climb up. This thing was I'm not even fucking kidding. This thing was probably almost 11 feet in the fucking air. So a child dangling from it, you had a good probably 6 to 7 feet underneath of you to just drop. This thing was so dangerous and I don't know how we had it, but my god, that thing was... Only the older kids could play on this. Because the smaller kids didn't have the arm strength or could hold on to those things. And because it was so tall, it was really intimidating. Now let me tell you the piece de resistance for this fucking piece of equipment. So you see how it goes up and then you go down. And where do you get off? Well, it's not climbing down a little ladder. After you made it to the end, you had to climb onto this fire pole and then slide all the way down. You had to figure that out while you were up there. Oh my god. These were some crazy ass monkey bars that you had to like I said, they were only like 3 or 4 inches long, the pegs that you had to hold on to, and my child hands couldn't fully wrap around them. I remember that being so difficult. So of course, only the like older kids in like 5th and 6th grade were like beyond these. They would sit on them and basically like, oh, the little kids can't get up here, they're too scared. But there was always a mad lad who would attempt it and make it. Like a lot of kids would attempt it and just fall, like typically here. If you got to here and you fell, you typically ended up in the nurse's office. On top of being shamed because all the kids would laugh at you, and even the little kids, they were like, you didn't fucking make it, nah. But there was always a mad lad who would. Some little kid. I remember there was a couple kids in my year that even did it. And I remember the first time I saw them, I was in 2nd grade. I was only like 6 or 7. But a couple of the younger kids that would climb it and make it all of the way. Like by the time you got here, people were cheering for you. They were like, oh my god, you're doing it, come on. And if you made it to the pole and you did that victory slide on the way down, you were just king of the playground that day. You were king of the playground. The older kids would let you sit with them. You earned their respect. You earned so much street cred climbing these fucking scary house bars. You were just king of the playground that day. It was so fucking monumental and so perfect. Just from the feeling of when you finally climbed on those bars and made it, there's nothing like it. I've been chasing that high my whole life. There was nothing that's felt like that before. It was such a crazy fun thing, and these have cemented into my brain into adulthood. I still remember exactly what they looked like to this very day, and I remember looking up at them, being in awe of all the kids that could do it. They were so fun and so cool. God. But I think, am I happy with the work I've done today? Let's look over here. Am I happy with what we've done today? Honestly, I think I'm good. I think everything's pretty good here. It's not bad. Maybe the monkey bars are a little too low, because monkey bars are a great playground item. They're some of the first things people play on. But these ones are just a little better. They're so fun. You know what? We're gonna do this. I think I like that better. Because these ones you had to have that upper body kid strength. And these ones, it's not like they're bad. It's just the kids definitely don't line up to play those. I definitely didn't. I didn't see anyone who did. Oh yeah, we also had like a little toy car. It was like a metal car that you could sit in. That shit would be up in S tier. The car goes here. Okay, pretend. This is the car made of bars. I almost said bones. Back on my playground when we had toys made out of bone and playground equipment, we just played on the skulls and spikes. But the car had like a working steering wheel, and like I think it was like a little, I don't remember, but you could climb in and out of it, and it had a front and back seat made out of wood, and that shit was so fun. That would be an S tier if I had remembered it until now. We unlocked a core memory. I forgot about that until now. That thing was so fun. Oh my goodness. But I think We've done some good work today. And if you guys like this, maybe we can do some more tier lists in the future. Again, we're celebrating for 100 subscribers. And hopefully in the next year, we can get 100 more. And you know what? Maybe we could even get more. We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep doing what we do. And stay safe out there, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Also, this is definitely not a cigarette. I hate cigarettes. This is cannabis. Oh my god.